Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. Corked Stats, the fastest freaking show in MLB. Absolutely anyway with your boy. What's going on, everybody? Yeah, we had a lovely one yesterday. That was almost the monster. Almost had the fucking monster, baby. Then we needed LA, first five run line with the nice price. They were up to bottom four, 2 outs. Nice ground ball. You knew when they made the error, the next guy was going to knock those people in. That's just kind of how baseball betting goes. That's in particular how it's gone for us this year. The fucking year of the error, man. Shit, we've had so many outcomes decided by bad defense that I got to start looking at it. Maybe some of them are very hard to predict. Who the fuck knows, man? Well, we're still doing good. We're in the black for the year, and we're not going to get any better with me jammering about fucking nothing. Follow me up on Twitter at John Legaza, same handle over on Substack. $2 a week. Get your 5 pounds of shit in a 2-pound box. Oh, baby. Enough of that shit, man. Enough of my fat fucking facha brota. Best part of waking up. Pitching sheets in the mud. Quick shot over to the comment section. A buen dia to Brian Rose, Carolina Daddy. B squared, good to see you, my friend. And Trent plus the nose Adonis up in the bitch. All my people, good to see you. Yeah, you know what I think before we even kick off? I think that's a really good place to start. Someone mentioned all the emojis, so actually let me bring that up. That's what I meant. I meant to do that. So we have a crazy weather day today. Up and look at this, up and down the board. And you can't ignore it. So I put a warning up top too. It says caution with the weather today. Good to see you, no block. Buongiorno. Gotta be super careful today. I hate this stuff. I don't know what to do. I'm more inclined to go under on the ones that I believe in. We're gonna have to take them case by case. Again, if you see the sun, it means it's at least 85 or better. If you see a wind emoji, it's at least 10. If you see 2, like we got in Chicago, we're talking 17, 18 with the sun. That's been the boost off the drag for the home run ball. So, who the fuck knows? So just putting that out there. And yeah, Donna says, damn Angels, man. Oh, that sucked. I got every fucking sound effect. But that was just the worst. All right. Now we're like firmly behind the 8 ball with a ridiculous amount of work to do. You could tell this show is going to end up off the rails before it probably starts. First up, Eric Fetty-Wap on the bump for the Pale Hose. They're on the road against Trey Gibson and the Orioles again. I'm going to try and start with the Algo board so we know like right off the bat where this is going to lead us. So we're going to have a few of these today where you're thinking over or nothing, but the totals already beat us there. Some of these are going to get to 11 runs. If I had to pick one, I think there's 4 of them today. This is probably a good candidate. Fetty's been trash and Gibson's been fucking trash. Both offenses are pretty good. With some struggles against lefties. Not so much with the power stick, but maybe that'll turn around today. I mean, you can't trust either of these pitchers, right? Absolutely not. Both offenses definitely above average. Orioles kind of ticking down a little bit, but I do tend to believe them bringing Adley back, and they're not a pushover. No way, right? No two ways about it. The last 7 for the Orioles goes to show you, that underbelly is starting to show a little bit, but that doesn't mean they can't get to Fetty, who has not been very good. Both bullpens, I don't really trust either of them. They've pitched better than, not recently. The White Sox still walk too many guys. Baltimore still gives up too many home runs. And, we're right at that total. I'm not over 5.5, 10.5 necessarily. However, with both teams modeled over 5, right? 5 plus 5 equals, 11 in baseball because you can't end on a tie. So I'm not sure what to do with this one. I think I probably like the sticks and the, lefty bats in this one maybe. I don't know. There's going to be a lot of this. There's going to be a lot of this today. This is like, millionaires, generational wealth what we had today. It just probably won't be me. Next up, my boy Bubba Chandler on the bump for the Buccos. They're on the road as plus 195 dogs. Holy crap. The Pirates really shouldn't be a plus 195 dog to anybody right now. I hate to break it to you. On the road against the Fighting Phils and Christopher Dirty Sanchez, who's been awesome. Phils are starting to hit as well. We called that getting up off the mat. Oh, yes, the Undertaker. You know, we want to play unders when it's Bubba and Sanchez. But again, you got heat with wind in Philly. That feels dangerous. That feels dangerous. Now, again, I'm not going to pretend to know what the fuck is going to happen. I told you you're going to get a lot of this today. However, right, but. Hold up, wait a minute. There's not a lot of fly balls here, right? I guess on Chandler's end there are, but I even feel like he cut that down. But even with all the fly balls, what do we always say? Not all fly balls created equal. The pull rate's super low, the infield fly is super high, and the hard hit rates are really low. So what I meant to say is more there. We don't have home run tendencies, right? Again, fly ball is not everything. Bub has been cleaning up his act with the command and control, and Sanchez is as good as anybody on a per inning basis, right? It's just not really fucking 4D chess here. Again, I'm thinking under. There are some U4.5s, but they have a little bit of juice attached. That's not a lot of fun. Sanchez could shut down anybody. Do we think Bubba gets to the Phillies? Phillies highlighted last 14 versus righties. They've been a fucking wagon, leading the league in home runs, batting over 300 as a squad. 500 slug, over 860 OPS. Pirates said, hold my fucking beer. They've been killing righties. Not as good versus lefties, but you're still getting barrels. They're aggressive, getting lift and extra base hits, which is what you have to do versus Sanchez. I don't think anybody gets to Sanchez. And the bullpens have been pretty good. Pirates have been the big surprise lately. They've really turned it around. Mason Montgomery looks fucking awesome out there, and the Santana-Soto combo was always viable. And, they're looking good. This was 8.5, and it is 8.5. Again, very odd. And I think this is kind of a testament to the weather and all the question marks going on. Very rarely are you going to get full game 8.5, first half 4, right? We don't usually do that. And it's not even like we have a Washington scenario, right? Where the bullpen is so fucking bad. These bullpens have been good. And I'm torn, man. I'm torn. Part of me likes, you can get Pittsburgh even money plus 1.5. And if you don't want to challenge Sanchez, that 8.5 is just so fucking high. That is just so high that I think that's where I'm at. I think I'm at Pitt, Philly. Low game under 8.5. It's right around standard vig. And I'm already kind of fucking worried. And then it's Jacob deGrom on the bump for the Rangers, where it's hot and the wind is blowing out in Cleatown to face Tanner Bybee and the guards. Texas offense is looking good, but now, of course, they're losing pieces. What's his face? Anytime Wyatt Langford is on the field for 2 weeks, he's going to be heading for the IL, which was the case. And I thought they lost someone else also. I felt like someone else went down. Oh, Nimmo went down. That's correct. So the Texas offense, as they were kind of hitting the ground, now kind of taking a step back. Cleveland, that was pure shit. And I guess they probably are still pure shit. At least they got back to Lauder. And, that's something. The back half of that lineup is still fucking a noose. And I think even with the injuries, I think Texas is being sold a little bit short here. Bybee is good, but not great. And I don't think he's as good as the 378, 114 ERA whip combo that we've gotten. Again, the discipline is okay. Everything is just okay. The four-seamer is bad, and that's part of my worry. Again, in the weather. But he's one in zone. Some swing and miss, not getting a lot of strikeouts. Not inducing chases. And then, again, the misses have all gotten punished. Bybee hasn't really... again, the output is there, so it depends who you ask. Maybe I'm a little too much in the spreadsheets. But I guess he's been really good last 30 days. Not as good as DeGrom, who's been, otherworldly, kind of, again, hitting that stride. When DeGrom is really doing his thing, I just feel like that's such a discount to get minus 118 on a guy like that against a team that just can't fucking score for their life. Now, the first five is cut a little short, but it's not like the Texas bullpen is really bad. Texas bullpen, they've given up runs, but for me, it's like underpinning stuff. If you're not walking guys and you've had the arm talent, I think they're okay. Not like Cleveland's been any much better. We've been betting on them and losing fucking bets the last 10 days with Cleveland coughing shit up. So I'm going to go with DeGrom to beat Bybee here. Again, I think the short price is just underselling how fantastic DeGrom has been. I know I kind of glazed over it, but a 107 whip, sub 3 Sierra, unexpected with a 24 KBB last 30 days. DeGrom, again, really hitting stride, and Cleveland offense is fucking gross. Once he gets past those first three, should be easy sailing. So let's go Texas for the victory and move that bitch on. Next up, Tariq Skubal on the bump for the Tigres. They're on the road in the Boogie Down Bronx to face the bad guys. And Cameron Schlittler, this one should be awesome, except it's also going to be bordering 90 with the wind blowing out at the fucking stadium. And we know what that could mean. That said, I did the adjustments, and I'm still under the game totals. Now, we're not wildly under the game totals, so I don't think we should look at it as kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you're, if we're within a half a run, I'm not going to start like over adjusting. Again, I put the emojis to let you know I counted it, so you don't double count it. Then I put a warning, be careful with the fucking weather. Outside of that, I don't know what to do. I want to bet the under. But, you're kind of fucking crazy, it feels like, right? We're at it. Today's actually a big inflection point for me. And I think I'm just going to kind of sit and watch a lot of this. But this is a real, shit or get off the fucking toilet moment for the ball and the weather today. Right? It's all the heat and all the wind. We've mentioned that 1 + 1 = 3, right? Where wind has a little bit of effect and this hot heat's having a little bit of effect. But when you put them together, what do you got? Fucking bibbity bobbity boop. But that said, we've got the best pitchers in the game right now. When you get strikeouts, right? Strikeouts normally don't end up in the seats. Two of the best pitchers that we got on a per inning basis. Skubal kind of working his way back. The last 30, again, you can see he's giving up runs, 5 ERA. Here's what we think about that. Go fuck yourself. 110 whip, 2.6 Sierra, and a 28 KBB from Skubal, Double. And then, Schlittler has been fucking fantastic. Yankees offense starting to hit the skids without Aaron Judge. Big fucking surprise. Detroit offense versus righties is shitty. Again, they're really passive. That's the worst approach against Schlittler. He has elite command and control. Both bullpens have pitched really well. I was even surprised to see this at 7.5. Remember, books are not infallible, nor do they pretend to be. They just have the luxury of moving their prices. So if they, books put out a price and we start attacking, they have the luxury of moving and then trying to look smart at the end, right? They use the information I post and it fucking stays. So this one could close at 7. Again, it's hard for me to rationalize any other play. With both teams modeled under 3 3/4, I've got this one at 4-3 maxed. Again, bad offenses, great fucking pitchers, and right. So this is what I mean is, with the inflection point is kind of calling bullshit on the overs, right? Do you have the fucking C.O. Jones, the intestinal fortitude to go after the books with a trend that we know is moving? You need the brass fucking balls today. So I wonder if we'd even get a fucking 8. You know what I mean? The heat and the wind, people are really into this stuff. Pushing, man. MGM looks like they even moved to a 7, so you could forget the fucking 8. I wonder if now I'm even wondering if we can even find a damn 7.5. I'll shop it before I post a show pick. I'll add it with juice for the time being. Next up, Nolan John McClain on the bump for the Let's Go Mets Go, looking to die hard at Nakatomi, north of the border, to face Kevin Gausman and the Bluebirds. Another set of really good pitchers. This one, we got neutral weather for once. but the Blue Jays do have the bullpen emoji. It's not a disaster, if I'm not mistaken. Let's just check it out really quick. Louis Varland back-to-back 3 of 4. He's not available. Taylor Rogers 2 of 3 and Flaherty 2 of 3. You might see those guys, but without Varland, that bullpen takes a major hit, meaning if they're in a safe situation, you're getting fucking Hoffman, and we know, where that has ended more times than we'd like to admit. Nolan McLean having a nice season. I think he's due for some positive regression. The 4 ERAs, at least a half run to 3/4 of a run higher than all the indicators. He's getting Ks. The command and control has been okay. I think it's got to clean up a little bit. This is where I'm less concerned about the ball and walk, 38 and 9 respectively, opposed to the first strike and chase, sub 60 and sub 31. We got to get that cleaned up. Again, he's been punished by the left on base stuff. But other than that, he's a weak ground ball machine. We love to fucking see that shit. Right? Toronto's offense, that's what they do. You want weak ground balls. The Blue Jays are your team. They've hit like shit. They're not taking walks. So I think his flaw won't be exacerbated, right, in this matchup. And then you get Gausman, who's fucking awesome also. Again, his ERA is a little inflated for all the indicators and the skill set in the disciplinary basket. He's fucking really good. And again, elite command and control, suppressing contact, keeping it down. I even think that homer to fly ball rate might be a little bit high for what you're getting with the splitty from Gausman. He's been significantly better at home, 3.7 ERA at home, 5.4 on the road. McLean, significantly better ERA on the road, 2.85 road ERA. So we've got all the best splits. They've both been, let's call it neutral, last 30 days, but it's the bad offenses, right? Mets offense batting 201 as a squad. Last 326 PAs versus righties across the last 2 weeks, which is obviously dog shit. Mets bullpen's been the saving grace, but you got to score if you want to win. They haven't done that. Blue Jays bullpen, when they get outs, are effective, but you could see the rumbling of the underpinning worries right in this bullpen here. Nearly 57 innings from the Blue Jays. They have a sub 3% KBB as a squad. That is atrocious, man. So again, I'm way on the under here. I was really surprised that this one was even at 8. I got this one at 7.5. I'm at fucking 7. So with the little bit of extra, I think we're under the 8 full game. If we could get a first 5 U4.5, I probably would. I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing U4s. But again, I'm on the under. Again, we're looking, there's a lot of scoring expected today. Again, with the weather and all this shit. And hold on 1 second, I'm going to hit you with the fucking big nose. That under was minus 115, what I found. Obviously, shop all this stuff around. Mama said, you got to shop around. So, what do I want to say? This is just a hypothesis. So, obviously, it could be incorrect. I think it's probably like an inference, because I do believe it's data-backed. But it's a little too muddy to be determinative. Again, the nuance and the context that drips out of your fucking face holes when you roll with us. Filter Queen not doing this. The Chief Jiggling Officer not doing this. Lloyd Christmas's fucking bowl cut. He's not doing this. The Booker crowd not doing this. No one is fucking doing this shit. Why? Because it's fucking hard. Okay? It's hard. And it tests all of your weaknesses, right? So we've seen this trend. And now, Eno and all the fucking quants are objectifying this increase in scoring. Yo, I'm not saying it didn't happen. It happened. What I'm saying is, and this is anecdotal, but we're building a boat in the middle of the ocean. That's what the fuck this is. My contention is that it's with that heat and the wind in the combination that you're seeing massive spikes. We also have a couple of joke ballparks. Cincinnati, Sacramento, Coors. How are those playing up compared? And yeah, this person, the study was on like the month. There's so much missing from that. So I think, here's what I was getting to in 17 million fucking words or less, is I think away from these crazy conditions, we've got to grab the fucking ball sack and hit those unders. because I think, right, did it come across right? Everything is being pushed up, and I don't think everything should be getting pushed up, or at least everything should not be getting pushed up equally. My favorite example has been Arizona, right? Arizona still being thought of as a offensive park. The roof is up. The humidor is in effect. It's a bottom three fucking park. And homer to barrel and homer to fly ball. Like, but it's showing 9.5. It's showing like crazy. So, got to be careful with that. You know what? Now that I mention it, I was so sick to my stomach after the Angels loss. I shut down. I was so upset because I don't want to blow up my friend. It hit the 9. It pushed. Real quick, my good friend of mine, novice baseball bettor, got a real lesson in baseball betting. Of course, he got the show pay, the picks that I put out, the bet ticket, and of course he parlayed everything. It's what people do. Of course, he hit them all. Didn't want to hedge, let it ride. Let's fucking go. I'm getting emojis. We're up 2-0. Here we fucking go. And I'm like, dude, you know what I'm saying? Johnson looked good. Again, the defense let him down, which is a bitch, especially for rookies. You can't be deflating guys. You got to play clean behind him. He deserves it. And of course, he lost and got nothing. And I was just like, dude, and that's why people play round robins or play straight, because you put yourself through all this fucking emotional roller coaster to come up with what we got. So again, I gotta go under the 8. I'm a little nervous of the Toronto bullpen, but the Mets offense isn't fucking scaring anybody. Next up, my boy Kate Cavalli on the bump for the Nationals, wind blowing out in Fenway to face my other boy, Connolly Early, and the Red Laundry, minus 143 at the crib. Red Sox have the emoji. Chapman 2 of 3 with the big pitch count. You may see him out. Whitlock 2 of 3, low count. He's available. Slayton 2 of 3, and Tyron Guerrero back to back. They're just a little stretch. It's a good bullpen, but they're just a little stretch, right? So this isn't like a total ding situation. The worry here, is the Nats offense. They won't quit. Nats offense, ain't stopping, and it doesn't even seem to matter the quality of the lefty that they face. And I tend to like Connolly Early a lot, but the Nats just kill everybody. So, Cavalli's having an okay season. The whip is a little bit high, but he's been really punished by the poor BABIP. I don't think he's a great pitcher. I also don't think he's a bad pitcher. We love the soft ground balls and the double plays with an offense behind him. He's a fun bet at 5. But man, I really like Early. He's got true ceiling potential. It's not really showing in the year to date. I think the L30 is significantly better. Let me scroll over. It is. Again, the ERA, just ignore that shit. 3.4 expected, 3.65 Sierra, 17.5 KBB. He's starting to hum. He's been a lot worse at home. Poor home matchup, poor hitting matchup. And the Red Sox offense is just bad right now. Legit bad. You can see it up on the screen. Red Sox versus righties. Last 2 weeks, batting .229 as a squad. It's been really bad. Just one of the worst power hitting teams in the league right now. You get nothing. You get nothing. You so stupid. Nationals right now in a bit of a lull. And even when they're in a lull, they're killing. It's really something, man. They've sacrificed a little bit of discipline versus lefties to do all the things that you want. Pulling barrels is where it's at. Hitting home runs, always good. Extra base hits, never going to hurt you. Nats bullpen is the major disappointment here. So a ton of mixed signals. I don't know. I'm still under. I've got every reason to pitch for an over, except for the fact that it's a 9.5. That's entirely too high for me. That 9.5 is entirely too high for me. It looks like it might have gone down to 9. See, so, I wish I was smashed that earlier. What the fuck did I do? I don't know what the hell is going on right now. Sorry, I'm in a little bit of streaming hell. Okay, there we go. So, I had my number lock off. There we go. Is it F5U5? Like Early and Cavalli, F5U5. You know what I'm saying? It's 4.5, but it's even money, so maybe you get it. I don't know. So many mixed signals. I feel like I'm pushing unders. You can see why I put the warning up. I had a feeling I was going to be pushing unders on the highest expected scoring day of the year. One side of the coin, super sharp. Other side of the coin, a fucking not. Seriously, you really got to tread carefully today. I almost don't want to bet today. I almost don't want to bet. I'm going to really try and be careful picking my spots. Maybe we'll do like a fucking weather parlay or something like that. So I don't know. Now with the totals moving down, we missed the F5, U5. You could get the full game U9, but I mean, I am worried. But those nines are really high, man. Those nines are high. Getting to 10 runs, that's a bitch. And you got good pitchers on the mound. Next up, Mr. Freedom, Matty Liberatore on the bump for the Cardinals. They're on the road as 135 dogs against Martin Perez and the Bravos, minus 163 at the crib. Again, I didn't understand why this one was 9.5 either. Jets just entirely too high. Liberatore has been struggling. We get it. The fake out breakout during spring training that just never happened. One of the worst four-seamers in all of the major leagues. Force feeding it, getting cracked, getting crushed, getting barrels, tons of homers. A fucking disaster, man. Really a fucking disaster. You could see just not a strong split on the board for Liberatore. 6 ERA on the road. And it's been really gross. So the bull case for the over has to be Braves offense. Okay, where is this? They've hit some homers off lefties, but other than that, you're chasing. And again, you're pitching me home runs without barrels. You're pitching me home runs without ex-woba. Lack of strikeouts, through aggression we like, but again, chasing and no walks. I don't know if I'm buying it. Cardinals have hit lefties. They've been a lot more fun against lefties. The homers haven't been there, but it's good approach with a lot of contact, and they run. I guess tougher to run against lefties. But Perez, pitching really great. I'm doing fucking air quotes because I don't know how he gets away with this. The command and control is whack. He has all the same disciplinary stats, but worse than Liberatore. And you see Liberatore has a 5.56 ERA. Perez is down at 3. Liberatore's whip is 158. Perez is 113. They have almost the same profile. Now, Perez is a lot better at getting ground balls, but he's also been a lot luckier. He really has. I don't know. I think I like the Cardinals here, to be honest, but do you trust fucking Lib? I don't. But I think the Cardinals might win this game. Their bullpen's been ass. You'd have to make it F5, which means you have to believe in Liberatore, which means you have to, I don't know. You got to back some real bullshit, man. You got to back some honest to God bullshit, man. This is the stinkiest slate of all the mixed signals. I'm out. Audi 5000, brother. Next up, I wanted to be under on this game. Griffin Jackson, the flat fucking fish of Florida. They're on the road as minus 125 favorites against Noah Cameron and the Royals with cheese. But it's hot and the wind's blowing out. I'm like, ugh. You put me in a position where there's guys and teams that I want to fade the scoring. Look at this. This was actually the game. This was the game that actually forced me to push that warning up top. I couldn't get to the total here. I hit it. I fucking hit it again. Hit it again, Rock. Hit him again, Rock. And I just couldn't get it there. I'm not going to, like I've told you. You see the sun emoji? I fucking goosed it once. You see the fucking wind emoji? I goosed it a second time. There's even a programmable 1 + 1 = 3 type of deal. I'm still short. I'm going to be completely honest. I gave it a little another fucking shot in the ass, thinking maybe my 1 + 1 = 3 was a little short, even though in other places it seemed to be on the nose, and I still fell completely under. So we're either really right or we're really stupid. This almost feels like it can't play out any other way. Let's just do it really quick. Again, I don't want to mislead anybody. Griffin Jax is very good, man. You're seeing the overall stuff. Let's look at the last 30 where he's been starting. The expected ERA is a little nuts, but again, when expected ERA is crazy and Sierra's great with great KBB, that's the one you want to let go of. Because, those are barrels or, hard hit balls that are hard to repeat, like the least repeatable. I think Jax is good stuff, tons of swing and miss, really good breaking stuff, and he's a ground ball machine. Love it. Noah Cameron had such a rough start out of the box. He corrected, started looking really good. We got a bunch of really good starts out of Cameron. I'd imagine his last 30 is really good. 117 whip, expected ERA, and Sierra in the mid-3s with a 19 KBB. He's been really good. Ray splits versus lefties are awful. Then I want to hit you with one more. Shout out my guy, Toasty Sam. He asked for year-to-date home and road splits, I feel like the Rays are one of those teams. Home and road splits, people can be found on the year-to-date tab all the way to the right beyond the handedness splits. Okay, I made it so you could put them both up in the same spot, and it's exactly that. Rays are a fucking wagon at home. Fucking wagon. On the road. They might be the lowest scoring road team in the league. They're the worst ISO in the league, the worst slugging in the league. And, Cameron is not really giving it up like that lately. So that's been brutal for them. Royals last 2 weeks versus righties has been strong, but I feel like the L7 is crapola. The L7 is starting to take a shit. I think they're coming off the spike. Again, it felt a little unsustainable for KC to be getting that from all the fucking backups. And then Caglione got hurt yesterday also. So if you're missing Pasquantino and you're missing India and you're missing Garcia and you're missing Caglione, who was like the main cog in this offense, where are all these runs coming from? The answer would have to be the bullpen. The Royals have a 9 bullpen ERA the last 44 innings. Rays have been excellent. So I think the Rays win this one. I think it's the better offense, even with the road struggles that I mentioned. I think they could scratch it across. So I'm in a little bit of disagreement with the model. But honestly, if this fucking total is at 10, and we're modeled a cunt here on the 9, if we're not betting the under, what are we doing here, right? What am I doing? Just guess. Just fucking guess. Don't use this. Or at the very least, right? And all kidding aside, this is actually the proper way to treat uncertainty, right? We deal with a lot of uncertainty. I don't pretend that we don't, nor do I pretend to have certainty in the realm of uncertainty, right? This is where frog DNA comes into it. We have enough DNA to create the dinosaur, but we need a little fucking jump. We got to bridge a couple fucking gaps. So one way to do that, right, to say, if we're under a full run or under or over, right? If we're off the total more than a full run, we need to bet this unless, right? You have to physically put in parameters, right? These are conditionals that will objectify the process and allow us to eliminate single variables in a backtest. I know, sometimes we sound really smart. Some people might say this show is enough to pay for the Substack. $2 a week, get your 5 pounds of shit in a 2-pound box. Support good people doing good work. Help me keep the fucking lights on. My smoking hot wife happy and my beautiful kids fed. Please. Pretty please. But you also get tons of info, right? Everything that we cover that you see, some of the shit that you don't. K projections, implied team totals every day, all the split data that we talk about. Best pitching sheets in the fucking world. Come on. Like, how do you prepare without this? And this isn't worth $2 a fucking week. If you're at all serious about this, you're crazy. And there's tons of football shit. Like advanced football stuff. Just redid the rankings yesterday. So, yeah, get with the crew, yo. Know what I mean?
Martin! What is your profession?
Our profession is kicking fucking ass, yo. Kicking scumbags in the pit. So, actually, it looks like that one went down to 10. Yo, I think some of the people some of the people using our model have decided that those totals were a bit high. Again, don't underestimate our place in this market, right? Do not underestimate our place in this market. When our algo drop is one of the pebbles in the lake, I'm not saying we're it, I'm not saying we drive markets. We are 1,000,000% a part of the tapestry, right? So remember that. Meaning, you might not want to wait for me to post picks. I'm not a pick selling service. This is not what that is. I wish it was. If it, I'd be a lot less work for me. I'd be doing this work on my own, not sharing any of this, doing a show or formatting anything. I'd be looking for edges at night and sharing picks, and that's all I'd be doing. So when you see these massive disparities, if you're catching the algo drop 7 days a week before 8:30 a.m., a lot of times it's much earlier than that, but 8:30 you can hold me to. 8:30 builds in buffers, and that way I don't have to send an alert. When you see those, you could fucking run and smash them. If you smashed all of our, differences today, you're way ahead of the market. I can't guarantee that they're going to win, but you absolutely want to be a fucking full. You want to be in firm totals. Like, can you imagine? Yes, I'll say that definitively, right? That's the type of CLV that 1,000,000% fucking matters. Oh, I really appreciate all you fucking crazy bastards, yo. You guys mean the world to me. All right, so let's go Tampa and KC. Now, I know I was half joking and talking about kind of like fading a lot of stuff, and I'm going to. I'm not going to be wildly aggressive. This would be one that I'm going to go for because, again, it's a fucking 10. It's a 10. Let's go. Bring it on. Bring it on. Bring it on. It's not even Casey's not even a crazy ballpark. All right, I too much stuff. Next up, my boy Louder Music on the bump for the Red Legs, plus 150, dog on the road down in Milwaukee, to face Brandon Brussels Sproat and the Brew Crew. Brewers have the emoji. Trevor McGill back-to-back 3 or 4. He ain't pitching. Aaron Ashby back-to-back 3 or 4. He ain't pitching. They're both in the mid-50s. They're not available. This is not the same Brewer bullpen. Now, Abner Uribe is good, but that's pretty much it. Although, you know what? I should pump the brakes on that because what's his face is still out there. Fucking Hall, right? And if he's rested, they actually have a. Oh, no, Hall is out. I forgot. That's why I wanted to check. I lose bullpen stats sometimes. So, yeah, Milwaukee in trouble. This one, I think, where I would want to go over. And again, that they beat us to the total with the 5 and 9. The model is right there. I wouldn't challenge the under on this one. Again, the Reds bullpen is bullshit. I'm kind of disagreeing with the model here. I'm gonna actually go so far as to say I'm in firm disagreement with the model here. Louder, I don't think he's very good. I think he's pitched over skis lately, got a little bit lucky. And Sproat, man, he's popped a little bit, right? 3-4 Sierra, 20 KBB, last 30 days. I worry about the command and control. And if I'm not mistaken, I thought the Reds are starting to hit. Maybe it's not enough L7 to even raise an eyebrow. Reds have been bad. Okay, let's just be honest. I fall for the talent. Maybe with Ellie back, maybe that's what it is. Again, I'm just trying to be vocal about my own flaws and stuff, where my biases come in. But no, we don't want to say the Reds are good. Again, getting Ellie back helps, and you hit a fucking ding-dong. That's what it was. I do that, and again, this could be a mistake, but it is something I'm clear about. That's the rising tide thing, right? When a team returns a superstar, and they show health, right? It's not necessarily a home run. It could be if he goes 4 for 5, fucking 6 ribbies, it's good enough. But it shows health, right? Not like, sometimes stars rush back and they go into the hole. Cal Raleigh came back. It hasn't really done dick. Same will be for Judge, right? If Judge comes back and starts looking great, you're not going to really concern yourself with the last 2 weeks. I understand one player only moves these things so much. It's a mindset thing, and it's a chicken in every pot, in a role, like a proper role kind of argument. Brewers offense should be better than they are. Like on paper, it's a lot of stuff that we like. One of the base chase rates in the league. They hit the ball hard. They get a lot of barrels. Maybe a little bit of pull would actually answer the question here. But I've got worries about bullpen stuff. And I think Milwaukee wins, but I don't want to pay a fucking minus 180. You fucking pay that shit. I'm not paying that shit. So again, I got a whole lot of nothing. I hope people are not disappointed today. I'm kind of milquetoast. Next up, I got this fucking bullshit, man. Stupid as shit. JP Department Store Sears on the bump for the fucking Friar Tucks. I don't know, man. I don't know what do you want from me. I'm tired of be doing this for fucking 100-something days in a row. They're on the road in Wrigley. Matty Boyd in the bump for the Baby Bears. Okay, so it's going to be a fucking 1,000,000 degrees with... This is the most emojis you can have. We're at max emojis. It's hot with 20-mile-an-hour winds, and the Cubs have a bullpen issue. Jacob Webb 2 of 3, Thielbar back-to-back, Thornton 2 of 3, Ferguson 2 of 3. This is a fucking disaster, yo. JP Sears went out and shoved in our fucking grill, you motherfucker. That was the NBA Jam two-handed 360 tomahawk fucking spinning slam that broke the glass in our face, right? We always fade debuts, and especially he's not a very good pitcher. I think he gets his fucking shit pushed in. You ever get shit pushed in, bro? He has his shit. He's going to get his shit pushed in today by the Cubs who've been hitting lefties. And then you get Boyd, who looked fantastic, right? He looked fantastic, but again, this year I know he's gotten away with, he's only given up 2 homers in almost 30 innings. That said, man, a lot of hard hit balls, a lot of pulled hard hit balls. But like some of the best swing and miss stuff we've seen from Boyd, Padres are starting to hit a little bit as a team. Even the lefty stuff is starting to go. We like the elevation. We like the pull profile. They're cutting down the Ks. That's a usual Padres characteristic. That maybe they're like reattaining. And I mentioned the Cubs versus lefties. They've been a fucking wagon, yo. Padres bullpen, which had been a carrying tool all year, struggling a little bit. I still think they have the edge. Cubs have been struggling and are kind of fucked. What's the problem here? This total's at 11. I couldn't get it down. I must not. I mentioned 1 + 1 = 3. I'm not accounting properly for all these emojis, apparently. I don't know what you're supposed to do. What are you supposed to do? Both teams are giving up 3 runs in the bullpen. Yo, that's a very dangerous way to model. In fact, here, let's do this quick again, because a lot of people do ask me about process, and I'm noticing with Claude, we're getting a lot. That's fine. I encourage people to try and expand on my work. I appreciate that. If you're going to be doing what I just said and just like adding fucking runs to match the total, just build in a conditional way. If 90 + 20 wind over, no matter what, right? You almost say no matter what. Because that's what you're doing, right? That's what you're doing. And I'm not even saying you're wrong. I've noticed that. I'm not saying you're wrong. I feel wrong. But I am also transparent and honest. And like I said, I guess I could have done a little more. You know, you got teams modeled to fucking 5 runs, man. A lot of shit happens. It's hard to get there. That said, we've seen Chicago fucking blow up, and we've also seen, again, you know, there's no accountability for sports books, right? If a handicapper fucks up a bunch, oh, he's an asshole, and people tweet it. Nobody tweets, oh, look, Vegas is so stupid. They had 11s, and the game ended 2-1. They just roll with it, and I think that's what I'm going to do today. This is like the fucking Twilight Zone for me. All right, next up, I think we actually have a play in this one. Joey Ryan on the bump for the Twinks, who I love. -115, slight favorite on the road against Mikey Burrows and the Astros. Okay, a couple things going on here. One, love me some Joey Ryan. 2, let's get under the hood for Burrows really quick, because I feel like, man, he had that monster start last time out, and I know his supporters were really excited and are hoping that that's like a sign of things to come. So I was under the hood, and I was pretty encouraged, because one, he's been extremely unlucky on contact. Extremely unlucky. So, like, the four-seamer has not been great. He's running almost 200 negative points of X slug. That's nuts. His slug on his four-seamer is almost 800, and it's under 6 on the X. And it's like that for every pitch. He's at a plus 100 points. Plus, he's got massive fucking swing and miss that he can go to either-handed hitter. I would be looking to add Mikey Burrows in fantasy. I'd be looking to start supporting him in the betting arena. Okay, and again, I think we're on the under here pretty firmly. Oh, you scumbags. Did you? Okay, there is a still F5 U4.5. You're going to have to act fast because it's -123 right now, which is the last resort. Remember, Twins lost Byron Buxton. We were already kind of a little getting skeptical, right? Let's call it. We were becoming skeptical of the offense. They did get it done yesterday. But I'm skeptical, and Buxton is such a huge piece of what they do. Yeah, man, I'd love to back fucking Joey Ryan. I think that play is viable, even without Buxton. Because Ryan is awesome. And Burrows, we're kind of hoping, is good. And he actually has a worse home run profile than Ryan, which is very difficult to do, Mikey Burrows, I mean. So even if he's pitching well, you know, a miss can go out. And even though I did mention the four-seamer should regress positively, it wasn't great in the first place. He probably throws it a bit too much. Anyway. Man, the Buxton thing really is kind of chapping my ass a little bit. But I think that's being baked in. The books are sharp, obviously. Astros are hitting too, man. So this is where I'm worried about the Minnesota F5 opposed to trying to go under the 4.5. And I think if you're backing the Twins to win a Major League Baseball game, you're fucking patently insane because the bullpen is disgusting. And, like, yes, they won yesterday, but they tried to lose. Anybody see that? They tried to lose. They at least, 2 or 3 home runs. At the end of it, it was an absolute fucking disaster for them. Yeah, Astros scored. They scored 3, right? The Twins tried to get cute and bring in Adams. By the way, big gold star on the nose for Zebby Matthews. I told you, right? So this is where, again, we're very good at trend indication. That's like the thing that we do, offense and pitching. And I think, like you said, I think Burrows is giving us those same fucking vibes. The books are tempting us to go under the full game with that 8.5, but the Twins are fucking. It's really scary. They're really fucking scary. So let's go. Like I said, I'll give these bitches some tax. I'll pay the fucking troll toll to get in and out. And let's move it on. Gosh. Just don't waste your fucking time here. I had a half a mind to maybe pair the Marlins with somebody today. Yuri Perez is on the bump for the Marlins. They're only minus 155, which feels like a little bit of a discount against Tanner Gordon. I thought they were going to promote Gabriel Hughes. Maybe they decided to not throw him to the Lions in this fucking environment. So, again, fantasy people could probably add Gabriel Hughes. I think they're telegraphing that. I think it's coming. He's immediately their best pitcher. And he'll be a fun bet F5 as an underdog when they're on the road against somebody, shitty. But other than that, don't waste your time. You could be doing analysis, pitching analysis, and cores. It's a waste of fucking time. I think Yuri is good. I think he's going to be much better as we go. And Tanner Gordon is fucking ass. Now, Yuri's going to have to be careful with all those four-seamers in cores, right? That's the problem. You're going to put it in play, which it's been in play. He might have an issue. He's been one of the worst road pitchers in the game. Gordon's been one of the worst home pitchers in the game. That said, Yuri's getting the results lately. Sub-2 ERA, sub-1 whip, however, right? A +5 Sierra, single-digit KBB. You could see why we'd be worried. And both offenses are kind of hitting right now. Marlins have been okay. The Rockies have been okay. And I'd imagine the L7 stuff is really starting to pop because they're in cores. Yeah, so, again, whatever. This is, I don't know, another one of those fucking parlay piece prop. Prop, parlay, park pack props plays, whatever. Go on drafters and start round robining fucking player props. Ridiculous. To get to 12, I couldn't get to 12. It could get there. Who the fuck knows? I'm very sorry to be such a disappointment today. I know people come to me for like information or advice, and I feel like I really haven't delivered fucking either of those things. Try my best, bro. Try my best. Next up, Justin Robleski on the bump for the Dodgers. They're on the road in Sacramento to face Jeffrey Poland Springs and the A's. It's going to be 1,000,000 degrees with the wind blowing out. Fuck you. What else is new? Again, I couldn't really get there. Maybe I should have. Again, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I keep saying it. Once you're modeling teams over 6 and 7, it's artificial. So just bet the over. Just, again, build the conditional. If 90 plus degrees with double-digit wind in joke ballpark, right? Joke ballpark defaults to, Washington and Cincinnati and Colorado and Sacramento. Then you just say, fuck it, over. You know what I'm going to say again? The same thing. In order to get any of these 11s, it's going to take a shit ton of hit run ribbies to get there. So maybe I could actually do that today. I think I'm going to be home today. And I know I joke about the prop parlay pick, whatever. Peter Piper picked a peck of prize pick parlays. But again, I do price hit run ribbies for these games, but I'm usually looking at the players that make the model. In these games, this would be another way to do it. Just price shop hit run ribbies. Just price shop. I would say if the number 9 hitter is coming in at fucking even money, you take that shit. And if you can get guys that are back to back that are good, again, this wouldn't be anybody, but guys that are good that are hitting, you pair them. Like if you get Heriberto fucking Hernandez, he was good yesterday. He was on our sheet. Somebody sent me that. Yes, I think of course. I think they missed the fucking last leg. My boy sent it to me this morning. Another one, you motherfucker. What can you do? You try and tell people not to do it. Yeah, so we had, hold on, I'm looking at it right now. He sent me a screenshot with his fucking puke emoji. Antonacci was a hit. He was on the sheet. Reynolds was a hit on the sheet. Abreu was a hit on the sheet. Heriberto Hernandez, that's what sparked it. He was good on the sheet. And Kettle Marte with P. Crow Armstrong. He was sweating Shea Langoliers, who did not get it done. And that's how the fucking cookie crumbles in this parlay thing of ours. So again, you're looking to go, over nothing. Remember, Springs, lefty, fly ball guy. So you're looking for your, Dodger righties, right? That's kind of it in these games also, I should have said this. You're looking for the split stuff, right? You're looking for stronger splits. Wroblewski's been really tough, kind of no matter what. So he's a little bit tougher to fade, to go after. But on the same token, that may just open up some nice pricing against him. The A's have a bunch of fucking hitters. They've hit lefties well. Dodgers have hit lefties. They're struggling a little bit. But again, it's spring. And if you're going to make contact at all, which they've done, and not chase and get barrels, which they've done, right? All the Dodgers are one of those teams. Even when they're struggling, they do the right thing. There's going to be a million fucking runs scored today. A's are struggling to get the back end of games. Oh, so whatever. Again, a million runs or nothing. Blah, 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 blah. Repeated for the 49th fucking time. Next up, Jose Soriano on the bump for the Halos, plus 150 dog on the road in the PN Dub to face the Nature Boy, Brian Woo, and the Mariners, minus 180 for the M's. I would say Brian Woo shouldn't. Listen, that Mariners should not be a minus 180 favorite to anybody. Brian Woo, I guess, is the carrying fucking tool here. I could see pairing Seattle with like the Marlins, right? That's a really ugly fucking pair. The Colorado thing is a bit of a fucking stretch. Did we have any other favorites that we really like to pair? I don't know if I trust Philly because I kind of like Bubba. I don't know if I trust Connolly early in the Red Sox, right? Because the Nats fucking hit. I definitely don't trust Martin Perez and the Braves because they don't hit. Maybe it's the Brewers and Sproat, but, they have the bullpen thing going on also. But yeah, that's it. There's not a lot to choose from. It's Seattle and Miami, or Seattle and Milwaukee. You know what? I guess I could check the run line. I should have mentioned that. We've had some success with that. And what I mean is money lines that we like that are too expensive, but identifying run line prices that are fair or, dare I say, good, and betting those. We've had a bunch of those, and you get great reaction. Dude, what made you say Arizona minus 1.5? And Tampa the other day with Nick Martinez got plus 155. That was a fucking sweat-free, right? Connect Caminero hit 3 fucking bombs for us that day. So I should have checked the price before I even mentioned the pairing because I believe the run lines are better play. That one's plus 125. And I think that's the play because I think Soriano, it might be a wrap for my boy. It's been really ugly for him now after a fantastic start. So you have to think about how great he's been to even have these numbers start to normalize. And it's just a bad stylistic combination. Man, he's got such good velo that you want to dream on it. But he can't find the zone. So guys spit on the breaking stuff. They let it go. He gets a million ground balls, but becomes BABIP dependent. But when that poor first strike, ball, and walk rate manifests, which is all the time, right? There's never a good time to be behind in the count as a pitcher. Never a good time. Even the worst hitter, a guy that you'd think should be dominated in a one-on-one scenario, not great. I mean, he's been very good on the road, but you can see the last 30 days for Soriano have been a total fade. Where Wu has been giving up runs, who gives a fuck? Go fuck yourself, yo. 294 Sierra, 106 whip, 25 KBB. Wu is incredibly effective. Incredibly effective. One thing that did come to mind, not to say I've been obsessing, but I'm just paying a little bit of attention to the home and road offense stuff. So I have that up on the board now. You can see the Angels are road warriors, which is really funny because they play in a good hitting environment. Look how much the Angels are one of the best road hitting teams in the league. Legit. Top 5 scoring team, top 3 scoring road offense with everything too, doing everything. Tons of slug, good WRC plus, taking walks, and then on at home, they're atrocious. Really, really interesting to see where, Seattle, the WRC plus is good, but this makes a good argument against WRC plus because it's shitty. The underpinning stuff is not anything that you really believe in. But I do think the Mariners have enough to get it done. Now, the Angels' bullpen has pitched really well, but I feel like that's a fugazi. I can't back that. Maybe that's a decent pitch for the money line pair. You know what I mean? If you're worried about the bullpen situation, that you worry about the cover, again, I think Woo is so fucking good. But there are a couple of counterpoints, right? There's a couple of counterpoints before you're like, oh, Brian Woo to totally crush. And that's evidence to know I got a good one here, and I'll hurry up the last one and get out in the hour. We've oftentimes talked about, right, if you see the orange box, I mean, I have it on the label, but for some reason people still ask. If a team is in the orange box, it means they have a 3.5 team total. So we've been very clear about, if you want to just briefly board read, again, I don't think anybody presents more information in a few couple snapshots than we do. And that's what this is all about, saving time. But you could just, in a quick look, see if there are any games where one team has a 4.5 and one team has a 3.5, and the favorite with the 4.5 is a -130 or better. There's something we talk about all the time. And I have found I don't smash it automatically. Our analysis has always brought us there. Makes sense. There's a lot of indicators. However, you may want to pump the brakes of these Mariners. They both have a 3.5 team total, but the Mariners are -180. There's something wrong with that. You would think a total north of, I don't know, -160. 160 or -160 or worse would be cause for a full run of separation. And if -180 is not, to me, that's a little bit of a red flag, meaning like Seattle's team total may be in play. You got the 9th frame, or it's a misread. And what I'm scared of admitting, because I like the Mariners and Woo so much, what I'm scared to admit is both team totals at a 3.5 with a -180 line is probably a good indication to bet like the Angels, even if it's on their run line. Now, you're getting 100 cents plus 150 to -150, but it is still -150, but you get to lose by a run and still cash your bet. Last but not least is Landon Roop. This feels like a total misprice to me. Landon Roop-a-Loop, you can come too. Bring your green fucking hat. He's -108 both ways. Let's call it -110 both ways on the road against Arizona and Brandon Pfaadt. I mean, have we seen Pfaadt yet? I don't even remember if we've seen him. I know he was down. No, he was in the bigs about 3 weeks ago as a reliever. He pitched 10 days ago in the minors. 3 2/3, it was clean. But he hadn't faced more than 14 batters or completed 4 innings in his rehab. I think this price is off. I think Roop is very good on a per inning basis. He's given up some runs last 30, but I think the underpinning stuff is fine. He's been good on the road. Ground ball machine. We'd like to see him clean at the command a little bit. But I'm hoping the Giants will kind of pick up the slack for us here. Giants offense has been every bit as good as the Arizona offense. If anything, they've been a little bit better because at least you're getting significant power with lift, contact, significantly better zone contact, much better slug, more than double the ISO. L7's kind of flat. Giants going in the tank a little bit. Neither bullpen is good. But I do think that we're going to get an Arizona reliever in the first 5 somewhere. So we like San Fran first 5. I'm curious what that price is. Yeah, -110 both ways in the F5. That one you could just bet your ass is going to end up on the fucking ticket. Like 100%. We'll be betting the San Fran F5. Let's get the fuck out of here, yo. All right, so that'll do it. Thanks for picking up what I'm putting down. Please, everyone, be careful of the weather. Like and subscribe matters more than it should. Enjoy the games. Enjoy the day. When we're done with the book, enjoy the pay. Remember, when you work this hard, winning feels a lot less like luck.